Thank you. Our final speaker now.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, like to say how much I've enjoyed hosting you today, Minister, and your delegation. And I've been inspired by the self-belief in Somaliland, coming not least from your own diaspora, which of course is widespread across many member states of the European Union. I'd also like to remind people that today is United Nations World Democracy Day, so re-recognition of Somaliland would be quite a fitting subject for today. I've enjoyed hosting the delegation and the positivity. There are two international presidents that spring to mind, of course, of the countries, two countries that were merged, but as we've heard, decided it wasn't for them, namely the UAR, which lasted for 3 years with Egypt and Syria, and Senegal and Gambia, which lasted for just 6 months. So there is an international precedent there. I welcome the December rounds of talks with Somalia in Djibouti, and I hope that these can move forward in the same positive manner. I welcome how men and women over the age of 18 are eligible to vote in a stable multi-party democracy in Somaliland. I welcome and am proud how 3 member states, the United Kingdom, a leading contributor, Denmark and Netherlands, supported by an EEA member, Norway, have supported the Somaliland Development Fund. I welcome the work of the Edna Adan Maternity and Teaching Hospital in Hargeisa in women's healthcare, and particularly in that cultural taboo which is so often raised in these institutions. That's FGM, female genital mutilation. I'm delighted to see that because of the successful education programme of Edna, a drop in the number of cases of 25% we've seen in the last 10 years. I'd like to call on all Member States and the United Nations and the Commonwealth to get behind this worthy cause for recognition. I'd also like to publicly take this opportunity to thank Charles Tannock, although a political opponent, for his long support and work on behalf of Somaliland, and also for his private advice and support for my initiative, as I'm now hoping to announce my desire and hope to be able to form a genuine cross-delegation Somaliland friendship group. Accordingly, I'd like to invite any interested colleagues to please contact me. No political party or delegation should be allowed to claim this as their own project, but instead we must build a genuine consensus of support for this moderate, Western-like thinking Sunni country that can be a beacon of hope and lead by example across this troubled region. Thank you.
Somaliland. I am myself a strong supporter of recognition of Somaliland, and I've said so without fear of contradiction. I've said this, that I've been to Somalia. I was one of the first leaders to go to Somaliland when my late friend Mohammed Egal was still alive, and I saw what they had done at that time. And I know the history of that union between Somaliland and the South. It is not helpful. Now you have a situation where the South itself will take many years before they sort themselves out together. I think there's a very strong case for recognition of Somaliland as an independent state. But I'm speaking as Raila Odinga, not representing any government. Okay?
Dear viewers, warm welcome to the Voice of Somaliland. Today we are broadcasting from Sweden. And we are so proud to have the opportunity to broadcast this program that will tell you about all the great things that happened last weekend here at the Celebrate Somaliland Conference, the Somaliland World Congress, with visitors from all Europe and Africa and all over Sweden, of course. So we are happy and glad that you are with us today, and please enjoy this broadcast. I'm so proud to work with the nation of Somaliland. It's the only democratic nation at all the Horn of Africa and also at the Arabian Peninsula. The neighboring countries as Yemen, that you have full war today, or Oman and Saudi Arabia, non-democratic nations, or Eritrea, they have such huge problem with human rights and democracy, and also Djibouti and Ethiopia that is not fully democratic nations, and Somalia, that you have such huge problems with terrorists, with piracy, and with non-democratic movements. And in the middle of all this you find one nation, and that is the nation of Somaliland. The nation of Somaliland's border was established already in 1884. And today the people are living in peace and stability in the middle of one of the worst regions of the world. So I'm so proud to be a part of this. And I just want to say, Somaliland, Hanulato. One nation. One nation, one people. One people. Under one flag. The flag of Somaliland. Somaliland, Hanulato. Somaliland, Hanulato.
That's the only democratic elected government in all the Horn of Africa on the Arabian Peninsula. And it's also the only country that is not recognized.
We are a fully fledged government. We have our own forces. We have our security. We have our government. We have our constitution. We have our parties. We have our democratization program. We are one of the stable. Somaliland is the most stable part, as they say, an oasis of peace in the Horn of Africa now. There's no doubt about it.
So, what's the feeling in your bones? When do you think Somaliland will be recognised as an independent state?
Very soon, inshallah. I hope very much so.
But you could go a different route. Why seek independence? You could actually remain part of a greater Somalia and help the rest of the country regain stability and prosperity.
The thing is, there is no doubt about it, the fact that we would like to see Somalia become peaceful, stable, like Somalia, like Somaliland, and because that would be to the interest not only of the region and of the world, but also to our own interest. We've got huge numbers of people coming from Somalia all the time, coming as refugees or displaced people, according to the United Nations, to our country, to Hargeisa and to Somaliland. But of course, if we can do anything at all, if we can contribute to what the rest of the world is doing to bring back peace and stability to Somalia, we would do our level best.
But how stable is Somaliland? You've got your own terror problem. For instance, the leader of Al-Shabaab is from Somaliland. You've had Guantanamo Bay detainees from Hargeisa.
It's true, there are individuals from originally from Somaliland who are involved in Shabab activities. There's no doubt about it. We even, and all the time we are very much on our guard. We have to mobilize all our people, including the religious leaders and the religious community and the public, as well as our sort of security forces, to guard against them. They have attacked Somaliland, they attacked Puntland, and of course we know what's happening in the rest of Somalia as well.
What are you doing, though, to prevent the young people, the young men of Somaliland, be recruited into the ranks of terror groups and militant groups?
That is one of the things which we always put our friends everywhere and say we need to employ and to guide and to give encouragement to young people not to feel lost, but to sort of expand education, to expand and give and open up the possibilities of work for them and to engage them in useful activities instead of going with extremist groups with the Shabab and others.
How far do you see the referendum on possible independence for southern Sudan as furthering your own cause?
The African Union always maintained the position that African borders should remain as they were at the time of independence. The fact that southern Sudan has the chance of being recognized as a separate state now, with the approval of the African Union and the rest of the international community, I see no reason why that should not open up a new opportunity for Somaliland to be recognized as well.
Are you going to use that to pressure?
Oh yes, indeed, we are going to use that to pressure the international community to to take that into consideration.